The rewards are absolutely massive. So the big rewards take efforts, you know. Anything that's an easy reward, it wears off quick. I use this example all the time. If you do a kid's puzzle as a 4-piece puzzle, you're not rewarded from it. You can do it really easy, simply. Today's training is going to be a good one. It's a really important one with today's training, and the title kind of is a little bit of just a hook title, to be fair, and it's one to sort of there's a little hidden thing within inside that title. So on this training we're gonna teach you ways to destroy lack of motivation, you know. And by the way, lack of motivation is not the problem that most people face in what they're doing. So, sorry, a tiny bit late. Hi, Adam. Can anybody let me know if they can hear me okay? I've got the cordless mic on, so I need to make sure I can be heard okay. You could give us a yes. Only Adam on at the moment. So we're going to be talking about motivation. So many people say, I want to get motivated to do this, or I can't get motivated to do this. And I'm just gonna put this out there right at the start. It's not a lack of motivation that stops you from doing anything. Loads of people, if you wait to get motivated to do things, sometimes you are naturally motivated, but probably 8 or 9 out of 10 things that most people do, they're not in the mood to do them before they do them. So it's not motivation you're lacking, it's a structure behind that, and we'll go into that a little bit more deeper in a little while. I've got a little study to share with you, really interesting study. There's a guy called James Clear. He wrote a fantastic book called Autonomic Habit. So if you've not heard of that book, or you've not come past it before, definitely go and look into that book. It's really, really interesting. Everything we do is an accumulation of habits. So you've got, there's another fantastic book called, I think I got this out yesterday on the live I've done on All About Property, just here, so can remember that. It's another fantastic book I recommend you get is Power of Habit. Understanding habit, everything we do is a habit loop. So there is a trigger, a response, and a reward. So that is a loop of everything we do, and you can nail that down to absolutely everything you'll do in your day-to-day routine. So what the mastery of anything is forming habits from things. The unfortunate thing with habits is the stuff that gives you the instant gratification. So the habits are like a compounding effect for success, you know. So instant things like eating something really sweet gives you an instant gratification. Anything that gives you an instant gratification often don't give you the lasting fulfillment and the lasting results that you're after, you know. So anything that takes effort, so it's really messed up. The things that take effort are the things that reward you the most and you feel better about. Like you might get an instant feel good rush from that sugar if you eat a donut and you eat something sweet, but the lasting effect of it when you start putting on weight, when you compound and doing that, you start putting on weight, don't make you feel better. And no matter how much what anybody says, people say, oh, you should eat what you like, you should live how you like. Nobody feels good in themselves if they're carrying a bit too much weight, or they're feeling ill, or they're getting the consequences of illness. Some people might settle with saying, okay, I don't mind what my body looks like, but like the truth is, eating these things are making your internal health worse, you know, your energy worse, your clarity worse. So people might fool themselves and say it's fine because they can't give up the addiction of eating these things, and they say, oh, like I put on a post about something similar to this the other week, and somebody was like, yeah, you only live once, so you might as well just do and eat what you want. I said, yeah, you do live once, but I want to live as focused and feeling good. I've tested this loads of times. I've ate crap, and I do this throughout a year. Every year I'll go to a little point where I'll just sort of fall off my discipline slightly, not terribly, but slightly, less than I'd like to be, but slightly. And I like doing it, in fact, just because then I really measure the difference between doing it and not doing it, you know. It's a kind of bit of a tangent here, guys, but yeah, the feeling I get from discipline, the reward I get from being disciplined, the focus I get, the results I get from my mind being in the right place and me having the right courage to do what I want to do, way outweighs the instant gratification I get from just feeling good and eating. And then the bad feeling I get afterwards, so my energy's down, my weight's starting to tick on, not feeling good about my body, and that. So yeah, way outweighs it. I've done it lots and lots of times. The problem is, and half the battle is like, rather than admit that it's hard to give up the discipline, people say, oh yeah, you should do what you want and that, and don't really look at the bigger picture of it. But guys, can you hear me okay? Morning Sandeep, can you let us know? Morning Alex, Clive, Adam, can you let us know? Rob, how you doing today? Can you let us know if you can hear us okay? So as I said, today is going to be based on getting motivation. And so I'm going to give you some tips and advice around how to stay motivated. Well, it's kind of stay motivated, but it's not lack of motivation, as I said, that you're lacking. Marinda, I'm not sure if I said that correctly. So somebody let us know you can hear us okay. I've got the cordless mic on, so before I turn the thing around and start with a blackboard, I just want to make sure that you can hear me loud and clear. But yeah, I'll keep on waffling on until I get somebody that can confirm that. I'm guessing you can, otherwise I might have lost you by now. But yeah, as I said, it's not a lack of motivation. You've got to understand that if you wait till you're in the mood to do something, often you won't do it. So it's not getting the mood. It's not about getting into the right mood to achieve things. It's about doing things to be in the mood, you know. And often the key behind pretty much everything is starting, you know. There's a 5-second rule. There's a 20-second rule as well. I've not talked about the 5-second rule a lot, but I've not talked about the 20-second rule that much. But another fantastic book, another favourite of mine. See if I can find it. The Happiness Advantage. Not read it for a while, but watched a video this morning that mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, I've not read that for, I think, about 3 or 4 years now. Read it about 4 times in a period of a few years. But they say a 20-second rule, so things should be easy to achieve. I call this your default mode. So if you want to do anything, achieve anything, make it so easy that you can do it. And the 20-second rule is like, like this Sean Archer was saying in his book, he wanted to learn to play the guitar, but he'd sit down on his sofa, even though he's a positive psychologist, he'd sit on his sofa, and because the remote control's next to him, he'll turn the telly on. And even though he wants to do the guitar more than he wants to do the telly, the habit of him doing the telly just fell in because the control was there, it was convenient. So he realised, okay, let's put the control on one side of the room and put the batteries in a box on another side of the room, and his guitar was in the cupboard, by the way. So then he was like, let's put the guitar on the sofa next to me when I sit down after work. And then he started forming that habit because it was within a 20-second barrier that he was there and he could do it, you know. So yeah, that's a 20-second rule. So it's about starting. Habits and anything in life's about starting. So the gyms are great because once you're in there, you start. You do it at home, you can kind of get sidetracked and you don't really get started. But once you walked in that door, that's it, you're there. You know, whether you feel in the mood or not, once you're in the mood. At the end of it, you feel fantastic, especially if you wasn't in the mood. So yeah, really important. So right, let's turn this around. So this training is there's a sort of a hidden thing in the training, so I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I'm going to show you a study by this guy called James Clear. He wrote a book called Autonomic Habit. Fantastic book, really good guy. Check him out on YouTube as well. And he done this study, and he done a study of I don't know if he actually done the study. He shared this story. I don't know if he actually done the study, but the study was of 3 groups of people that exercise, and you can relate. Exercise is a really good one to relate to your personal stuff. And he says as well, like building good habits is like the compound effect of building good financial habits. It is financial habits. You compound on them. So building in good habits like meditation, exercise, all these different things, reading, all compound on to your success for your personal development. So really important. Let's turn the screen around now and get this on this way. So just let me know, guys, also if you could see us okay, if my head's not cut off. Visuals do really help with understanding and getting things, so I'll attempt to do this. So there was a study of 3 different groups with exercise, and they took them and they split them into 3 groups, obviously. I don't know why I come with that. It was 3 groups, and what they asked them is 3 different things. They've done 3 different things with them. So group 1, they just told them just to track what they was doing. So they said, track what you've done with your exercise, just track how you've done it and how you've got on. And everybody in this group, by the way, all wanted to exercise. They took a group of people that all wanted to exercise. So group 1, they said, just track what you're doing. Group 2, they said, track and give them a motivational, I'm not sure if I spelled this correctly, but they've done a motivational video speech and talk to them. So they've asked them to track what they're doing, plus they've given them a motivational speech video of the benefits of keeping healthy, exercising, and everything else. And then group 3, they've done exactly the same and told them to track their exercise, plus the motivation. I'm just going to put an M there, plus they give them this one sentence. So I'm not going to write this out, it's a bit too long-winded to write out, but they've got them to write this one set and got them to write it down. So during the next week, so let's write a bit of it down. Let's abbreviate it. In the next week, I've got it written down here. So in the next week, I will participate in at least 20 minutes. So I will, let's shorten this, do at least 20-min vigorous. Just gonna put a vig there. That's because I'll speed it up. Vigorous exercise. And what they done as well was at this date, so they made them put the day down on this date at time and of what. So the first one, sorry, on this day, and at the time of day was the next one they got them to do. And then at what place? So at or in, and then they got them to write down the place they was going to do it. So it was in the gym, whether it was at home, what gym it was. So they got them to fill out this exercise. So group 3 done the same. So they got the motivation, and they got they just tracked what they were doing, got the motivation, plus they set this down, this intention, this goal, had it written down. And then the studies that come back are really interesting. So out of the groups, oh, that's a little bit wonky. I'm not a perfectionist, but that's completely wonky. So out of the groups, just turn around like this. So out of the groups, the studies is really interesting. So about 1 in 3 from group 1, I think it was 38% of group 1 actually achieved their exercise. In group 2, just slightly less, so it was 35%. So really no more than group 1 with the extra motivation. So it turns out motivation's like anything. Just the motivation alone, people get motivated, hyped up, and they go away. They tend to do nothing with it. This is why I keep them accountable. This is like there's lots more than just motivation. Zig Ziglar said, motivation is like washing. You need to keep doing it daily. So you need to work on yourself with this daily to keep it there. But motivation alone is not enough anyway. And then group 3, literally 1 in 9. 1 in 9, I've done that the wrong way around, but you'll get the drift of it. 1 in 9, so 90, what was it, the percentage of this? It was 91%. Oh, I'm making a bit of a mess of these. So 91% of these people actually exercised. So, not 91%. So, this showed the most power, and the difference between this and group 3 and group 1 was the intention and the goal, you know. So having that real clear intention. So it's not a lack of motivation. It's not motivation that is the key to this. It's a lack of clarity. So clarity, planning, goal setting is clarity. So I'm not sure if I spelled this right, guys. Any grammar police out there? It is clarity that is the key to understanding this. So they've done loads of studies with this with Stanford, and they've seen people's results. So clarity is the key. So it's not a lack of motivation, it's a lack of having clarity and having that set sort of plan in place. And once you've got that set plan, once you've got that there, the results from that is massive and comparable to just trying to drift along and think you're going to do it, or just using motivation alone. So it's not a lack of motivation, it's clarity that we need. So what can we do about this? Obviously, this part here is the key to it. So what I do with everybody on the coaching, what we do as a thing, let's put this in a completely different colour. I've studied planning, and this is something, by the way, I really don't naturally do. Some people are overanalyzers, and they were analysis by paralysis, as you call it, and they was plan and never get nothing done. Quite often you've got to aim the gun and then fire and get it perfect later. So it's not a case of planning perfection. One of my values is progress, not perfection. but you still want some big picture goals there and something to aim at and get started with. So Start Now, Get Perfect Later, a book by Rob Moore, big guy in the property industry, is really, really spot on. You do want to get started. You don't want to overplan. But I'm none of these people that I start, the first deal I ever bought, the first property I ever bought, well, the first property deal I've ever bought, not property, was a piece of land to do a development on. The first deal I ever bought, I didn't even understand yields or anything. I just bought a flat and thought I want to be into property, and I worked it out once I got started. I don't advise to go that far. I definitely like to do a bit more due diligence, but I'm not one of these people who overplan. Because then you get stuck in your own way, and there's no such thing as perfection anyway. You always want to be a rolling thing forward. But I've put together I've done loads of training and studied this loads. There's a process I put together. It's called the 190-1-1. So this is the little formula behind. Making sure you keep your clarity in place. As I said, I'm not naturally a big fan of this, doing this like planning and writing down goals. But when I started doing this, and when I stick to this, like every now and again I drift. It's like the gym, and I'm keeping fit. I keep really fit, getting super shape, and then I just drift and I take my foot off the gas a little bit, and then I catch myself. Number 2 on my values is awareness. So you're never going to get perfect all the time, guys. Forget the perfect, forget perfection. It's always about incremental progress, step forward, and awareness, because life can get in the way. I had a bit of a sore neck and a neck injury a little while ago, and it slowed down my exercise. It's aware to know that, okay, I can't do this same style of exercise, but I've been doing this HIIT training. I now need to maybe just walk and be aware when it slips out, because life just gets in the way. So awareness is key. But doing this planning keeps you aware. So the 190-1-1 stands for, 1 is for your 1 year. 2 is for 1 is for, what's the name, sorry, 90 is for, and this is the second part, 90 is for your 90-day planning. And if you study any big successful business, and businesses I'm talking about, not solopreneurs, not people that are maybe influencers and they are the business, even though a lot of these still do this, any big successful business you'll study on this planet that's ever been, all 90-day plan. Some of them actually reduce 90-day plans into monthly plans because their growth is so accelerated. Fantastic book on this is Mastering the Rockefeller Habits, Vern Harnish. A lot of big players that you have heard of today have studied his methods, and you'll see this come out in a lot of different people. But 90-day planning is key. Call them 90-day promotion plan, 90-day planning. So 9 is the 1 yearly, 90 daily. The next one is, let's put an arrow next to these, it probably looks a little bit easier. The next one is 1 monthly. And the next one, the final one, is weekly. You can break these down into daily, but there's going to be too many 1-1-1-1-1s on there. But you want to get these down into a weekly, your yearly, and again, you want your big vision, your big audacious goals. But the problem with big visions and massive visions is they make you procrastinate because you just can't see your way there. So what you want to do is get your big goals out and then get them. Take from them big goals. I do a Tony Robbins I've done a Tony Robbins, the Ultimate Edge training, and he's got a big vision like planning session on there. It's what I do with all the people and the coaching stuff, and just get them big vision stuff out. And then once you've got your big vision stuff out, you take your stuff, what you want over the next year, then you break it down into 90 days, then into a month, and into your week. Then you put it onto your week daily stuff. But as I said, for 191 in and an extra 1 big vision stuff before it, it's just easier to break down into 191. So really important to get yourself a vision, because as these studies show, it's not motivation. So if you've got these visions out there, so little tricks that I do, I'll give you some little advices and tricks that I do with that. Let's put my phone down here. So for instance, I've got, I try to update my weekly one. I'm not always disciplined on my weekly one, but I try and put my 3 big dominoes that I want to knock over. And I'll do that on a screensaver. So it's got a little bit on there, it's got my values on there, my why on there, and then my top 3 priorities. So that's how I do. That's my weekly one. Monthly one, I'll just write out on a spreadsheet. But I always drag it down. So the year, I'll always have top priorities that I want to get done. Then break down to the 90 days where I have the top priorities where I want to get done. We break the 90 days down into. Let's try and go in a different colour here. We break a 90-day planning. I'm sure this colour works. Let's try and get a different one. We do it on a spreadsheet, and I've got this from some high-level coaching that I've done with myself. If you break it onto a spreadsheet or your 90 sort of days, I'm not sure how many's on there, but you've got your dates in here, your tasks along here, and what you do is you blank out the areas across the 90 days. In the colour, you might have different team members, so the orange might be me, purples don't work typically, but the orange might be me, the blue might be one of my team members, doing that on that week, a different team member, the green might be another team member, doing this on different weeks, and you just plan it out, and you dot it out, and then you come back and track it. That's your sort of overview track. It's not the detailed stuff. You break down your big things, and then you break that into your monthly goals. And your monthly goals you break down into your steps, into your weekly stuff. So important. Probably one of the most important things you could pick up in your business. It's not only gives you clarity. It's not only stops you from, it's not only helps with you keeping yourself motivated. I said you want to use, as I said at the start, the 5-second rule, the second rule, but this also takes the overwhelm away from you. And what don't get scheduled don't get done half the time. So when you put it into your weekly stuff, you put it into a reminder so it comes up, and then you just use the 5-second rule and just go, let's start. Make sure, use that 20-second rule as well. Make sure things are easy to start, you know. If one of your goals is a personal one, you want to go to the gym, make sure there's trainers there ready to go. Make sure the gym's close enough so there's not big hurdles in the way stopping you from doing that. Let's turn this around now, guys, because I'm not sure if anybody wants to get a screenshot of that. I'll take a picture of it at the end. Let's turn this around. Yeah, that's as I said, the thing is with motivation is it's the key of motivation is starting. You're not going to feel like doing most things most of the time. And the things that you do that stretches you and rewards you, that feels rewarding, like going to the gym. Some people do naturally feel it. You've got always an exceptional rule. But going to the gym, most people are not in the mood. But once you've been, you come out, you feel massively rewarded. Once you've been for like 3 months and you're in good shape, in better shape than you was when you started, the rewards are absolutely massive. So the big rewards take efforts, you know. Anything that's an easy reward, it wears off quick. I use this example all the time. If you do a kid's puzzle as a 4-piece puzzle, you're not rewarded from it. You can do it really easy, simply. But if you do a 1,000-piece puzzle, then when you get to the end of it, you feel massively rewarded. But again, if you try to do a 1,000,000-piece puzzle, it's too overwhelming. It's too big. That's then you just give up on it. So that's why you want to break it down into your 191 into incremental sort of steps. But what else does people do? Who suffers with motivation? Like the thing is, the things that you want to do, the least are often the things that give you that sense of achievement the most, you know. So getting started, so having a 5-second, like 5 or 3 to 1, just do it. Pick up the phone, make that call to an agent, make that call to an investor, do that video, that live video. The things you are most fearful from are the things you need to do to move forward. But once you start doing them and doing them consistently, like if it's a video, you might do your first video and think, oh, only 3 people viewed it. But you've got, like same as going to the gym, you can't go to a gym and have one workout if you've never been in a gym before and expect to see a 6-pack, you know, unless you're this exceptional rule. Some people, I've got a friend who just eats whatever he likes, never exercises and always got a 6-pack. He's just got a metabolism like that, but that's the exception of the rule. You can't expect to do just one. You get one person who might do one video and get thousands of views, but you can't expect to do it once. You've got to do it consistently. Once you do it consistently and you push through them barriers, that reward that you get from that is immense. You know, it's much outlasting the reward you get from doing the 4-piece puzzle, or from just doing something that's easy. If you do something, if you win, that's why lottery winners are never content. You just get that money land on your lap, you're happy for a little while, and that wears off so quickly. If you build something into you're building something that's purposeful and you're getting rewarded for that, that's when it's massively fulfilling, you know, and the challenge has always got to stay there. But guys, anybody let us know, what do you do? How do you keep yourself motivated? As I said, if you wait for motivation, you could be waiting forever. If I just went to the gym when I felt like it, I feel I'd be massively overweighted by now. It's creating easy little patterns. Again, on the exercise and the food one, it's easier to just make sure you clear your house of like tempting foods, because it's easier to eat a snack that's easy done now. Put the snacks in there that are healthy, then make it easier for yourself with these habits. Autonomic Habits by James Clear is fantastic. Charles Dugan, I'm not sure how you say his name, another good book of understanding it. But it's the key to keeping yourself motivated is starting. And you will feel motivated. Once you start, you just get in that mood, you get in that zone. And make the starts very, very easy. But if you've got these plans and these plans of actions in place and you've got reminders and you know where you're going, it takes the overwhelm away and it makes it easier to start. So if there's any questions, guys, I'm happy to jump on and answer any of them questions. Let me know how you're getting on with this. This, for me, as I said, was transformational. Do I always stick to it religious perfectly? No, and every time that I drift from it, similar to the exercising, my overwhelm goes up, my productivity goes down. So yeah, really, really important to stick to, and have some form of it there. And as I said, it's not about getting it perfect all the time. It's about having it there and progress and keeping with it and having a plan. So plan of actions and clarity is the key for keeping yourself motivated. Even though you kind of never really motivated, you just got to start to get motivated. So it was a bit of a back to front one. There was a bit of a hidden sort of thing in there, but I hope you found it useful. Let us know what you do for your planning, how you do your planning stuff. And remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and have a fantastic day, everyone.